guys, so today I'm doing my foundation routine using the Tarte Powder Foundation. I don't think this stuff is new, but it's new to me and I love it so much. It is so full coverage but so easy to apply, and it's definitely airbrush looking because your face looks so seamless and like you don't even have anything on, that you're just naturally glowing and have perfect skin, which I definitely don't have. So if you guys want to see how I get this foundation look, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm first just going to start off by clipping back my hairs because I'm going to be spraying some stuff on my face, and it can get in your hair, but it's just easier to do foundation when your hair isn't like all up in your grill. So I've already prepped my face using this Olay Complete All Day Moisturizer. I like this one for the daytime because it has some SPF, and now that it's spring and I'm outside a little more, I like to use some SPF. And then I put Pure Adore Argan Oil under my eyes and let that set in for a really long time because oils take a little bit longer to absorb than just like a moisturizer or something. Now I'm going to put on my Smashbox Under Eye Primer, and I only have a sample of this from Sephora, but I really like it, so I think I'm just going to have to buy the whole thing. It is $30, which is kind of a lot for like just an under eye primer, but I really like it and it definitely helps keep my under eyes more moisturized during the day. So the primer I've really been loving to use with this foundation is the Smashbox Photo Finish Water Primer, whatever. This stuff is similar to MAC Fix Plus in the way that it's really moisturizing, but it's a primer water, and MAC Fix Plus is not. MAC Fix Plus is just kind of like a moisturizing water. So I really noticed that this helps hydrate my face and keep everything lasting a lot longer than it would if I didn't use this. And I really like it. If you have oily skin, you probably wouldn't, because it definitely gives your face like a glow and more of a dewy look. So if you're going for matte, this is not what you'd want, but I love it because it keeps my face super moisturized. So I spray it a couple times, so we'll spray. I love this stuff. It's so cooling and doesn't really have a scent, but it's, you know, it's water, so you really have to wait until it's completely dry before you put on your foundation. So we're just gonna let this soak in until it's completely dry, and then I don't know. But I am self-tanned right now. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a little bit darker everywhere else. I don't self-tan my face because I do use a lot of like acne products and I exfoliate my face all the time, so it's really just pointless. So whenever I do need to wear makeup, which is pretty much all the time, I always buy my foundations a little bit darker than my natural color, but I never fully get it as dark as my self-tan because my face, even when I'm tanned, like in the summer, I'm never like as brown on my face as I am on my chest or my arms or anything. The Tarte foundation shade that I got is light neutral. I always get a neutral or cool toned foundation because I'm very cool toned, or I'm neutral to cool toned. So this one is like the perfect color for me when I'm self-tanned, but it's a little too dark for when I'm not. So this foundation has a net in it, so it's really easy to apply. And I don't have the brush that you can buy with the foundation. I use a round top kabuki from Royal Care Cosmetics. If I can find it online, I will link it below because I bought it in a set from Amazon. So I'll find it and I'll link the whole set below because it's only $17. So what I do is I just pat the brush into this net thing and pick up a decent amount, and I just tap off some of the excess. And I always start with my forehead for some reason with this foundation, and I just kind of tap it on and start working in circular motions. I don't like to leave it sitting there for too long because once you leave it for too long, it's kind of hard to blend. So I immediately start doing it in circular motions, and I'm going to zoom you guys in actually. Okay. So this is just basically what I do, and I do circular motions back and forth. Always got to make sure you're getting it in your hairline if you're using a foundation that's a little bit darker than your natural skin tone, because you don't want to look like there's a like stark line between white and tan. Even though like obviously your head doesn't tan too much because of your hair, but It's definitely obvious if you don't put it there. And you obviously don't want to be putting too much in your hair because then your hair is going to look real dirty, but whatever. You get what I'm saying. So I just keep doing circular motions and going section by section on my face. I bring it on my ears because my ears aren't tan. So gonna make your ears tan, and then you go over here. What I like about this foundation is that it's very full coverage and it gets better looking as the day goes on, because when your natural oils come through, it kind of mixes with the foundation and makes it look even better. But if you do have really dry, flaky spots, like I have really dry ones around my mouth and sometimes on my forehead, the best thing to do is just exfoliate a lot right before you do your makeup. Get off all those patches and then moisturize really well. And just wait for all that to set in before you put your foundation on, and that should pretty much prevent anything from sticking to a dry spot. So now that my whole face is covered in foundation, I like to go in with this e.l.f. brush. This is the flat top kabuki powder brush. It's just called the e.l.f. powder brush actually. And I like this because it's not as dense as the other kabuki, so I can just really blend everything together and make sure there's no spots that have like more foundation than others. And then I go in with this brush with some foundation on it and just bring it down my neck. And then where I have acne scarring, which is on my cheeks, I like to go in with one more layer just right in those areas and just pat it in, because I don't really like to use concealer on my face. I don't like the way it feels. I find it feels very heavy. And the only time I'll use concealer on my face is if I actually have a pimple or something, or like an active breakout to cover it. But for scarring, I don't like to use concealer because I just don't like the way it feels. I don't like to feel like I have foundation or anything on. And definitely with this foundation, you don't feel like you have makeup on. But the biggest tip I have for you, if you are self-tanned and you are trying to match your foundation to your chest or your neck or whatever, is just to make sure you blend it all over your hairline, along your ears, and even a little like back here. Because if you're wearing your hair up or something, it's obvious when your face is tan and then your neck is tan, but like you have spots that are white, because that obviously wouldn't occur if you had a natural tan. So that is all I do for the foundation part. As you can tell, it's super full coverage and it doesn't feel like anything is on your face. So now I'm going to go in with the Fit Me Concealer from Maybelline for under my eyes. And I just put a little bit. I don't have too bad of dark circles, but I do have a little bit of like grayness that I like to cover up. So I put that on, and usually I'll use a damp beauty blender, or a Real Technique sponge, but it's not damp. So I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of this primer water just to make it a little bit moistened. And just press this concealer into my under eyes. So I like to use a translucent powder under my eyes, and I've really been liking this Bare Minerals translucent touch-up veil, and I actually use my beauty blend, my Real Technique sponge. I always call it a beauty blender. My Real Technique sponge, and I just put it in here, and I really like need to set my under eyes very well because they will crease so bad. I will look like I'm 90 years old. Some days when I like do my makeup really quick, I'll look at my makeup halfway through the day and be like, what the hell have I looked like this all day? Because my eyes will look like I'm 90. So I find that when I set my under eyes with a either loose powder or like pressed translucent powder with a damp sponge, the creasing doesn't happen at least as badly. So now just for my everyday kind of makeup, I don't always like go for the whole highlight, contour, like extreme version of it. So what I usually will do, I'm sorry I'm like not looking at the camera today. I feel kind of weird or something. What I'll usually do is take this Physicians Formula highlight like brick thing. I don't know if this is supposed to be eyeshadow or a bronzer or what they were really going for when they created this. Sorry, I just noticed I had to like blend this out. Yeah, I don't really know what they were going for with this, but I like to use it as a highlighter. But I obviously only use the shades that are at the top, which is like a pink and a golden bronze, and I just combine them together and apply this to the high points of my cheekbones. And I just use the tapered kabuki brush, which is going to be linked down below because it came in the same set as the one I used for my face. And I bring it a little bit like above my eyebrows, not too much though. A little bit on my forehead, down my nose, and then bronzer, which is one of the most important parts in my opinion. So this is my favorite brush to do bronzing with, and this is from Walmart, and I think it was like $5. It's so soft, it feels like a Sigma brush or Royal Care Cosmetics. It's fucking amazing, and I had to curse because it's that great. So what I do is I take my Anastasia contour kit, and I've really been loving this shade over here. It's like, it's a bronze, but it's not too warm toned. So I just take it on this brush, tap off a little bit of the excess, and just work it underneath my cheekbones. I'm not really going for a contoured look, but I do like to add some definition to my face. Since I have a round face, I really like to contour right in here to make my face have a little bit more shape to it. So that's where I start with the bronzer, and then I bring it up to my forehead and like in the hairline to make it look like I have a natural tan. And I bring it down my nose a little just to make it all even with the rest of my face, not to contour my nose, but just to add a little color, because you don't want your nose to be white and the rest of your face to be bronze, you know. And then I do my jawline because I don't really have, I guess I kind of have a defined jawline. And like that. Not too much, just enough so it looks more even. And then for blush, I've been going between two blushes recently. The first one is from Milani, and it is the rose line, and this is Romantic Rose, and this is a really pretty cool toned mauve color, and I love this one. And then I have this e.l.f. blush palette, and this is in dark, and I've really been loving this pink up here. It is so pretty, and I think it's going to be really nice for spring. When I'm tan, I like to go for more of a bright blush, so I'm going to be using this one. And the brush I like to use for blush is from MAC, and it is a 168 contour brush. Okay, these blushes are crazy pigmented. Like, you got to be real careful with them because I don't even know what they do to these, but if you use too much, you're going to look like a clown. So I take the smallest amount and tap off the excess. And since I have a round face, I don't like to focus the blush in the center of my face because it only makes it look more round. I like to accentuate my cheekbones and bring the blush up like this to make my face look a little bit longer than it really is. So that is my finished foundation. I'm just going to go ahead and finish my eyeshadow and lips, and okay guys, so this is my finished foundation routine. It's pretty quick. I mean, it kind of took a little longer on camera because I was explaining stuff, but really my foundation and bronzer and all that kind of stuff only takes me about 10 minutes on the usual days. But I sprayed my face one more time with this Smashbox primer water because I like to kind of bring all the layers of stuff together, like that makes it look a little bit more seamless, and it definitely adds a little bit more glow to your face. So that is it for this foundation routine. I'm going to have all the products listed down below, and if you want any more reviews or tutorials or anything like that, please let me know down below so I know what you guys want to see. And that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!